in New York. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
We ready to roll?
Broadcasting live from the internet, it's Tuesday night, and this is the Panels on Pages podcast.
Big boys playing with big toys.
This is quality content.
The boomers are into it.
Hey man, I just show up.
With your hosts, Lee Rodriguez.
I am a visionary. Like, oh, you have a podcast? I'm like, no, that's not me. That's somebody else.
Jason Nyes.
Yeah, sure. I'm not getting any vegetables in my diet. I'm just a thick boy.
Jose Guzman.
Is Jose on the show tonight?
He says he's coming.
It's like Elton John all over again, just minus the death threats.
Kelly Harris.
Reach your hand in your pants there, big boy. That's not me. I don't sound like that anymore.
And our good buddy Mahoney.
And Mahoney's here. What's up, Mahoney?
We can do just glorious, wonderful things on our phones, people.
No one's ever done anything like this before.
It's gonna be massive.
It's going to be great. I mean, obviously, I think it'll be great.
And it's all killer, no filler.
My seat's on fire! Your take's so hot!
Come on. It's so good.
It's pretty good. It's there. It's reliable. You know what you're getting every single time.
Man, I'm so glad you found us.
You're all terrible people, and I'm glad you're my friend.
Put that in the intro.
That's really funny.
Over 500 episodes, and you'd think they'd have the hang of it by now.
It seems like the concept that would run its course very quickly. What is going on, everybody? Today is Tuesday, October 10th. We're fucking back. And this is episode number 642 of the Panels on Pages podcast. I am your host, the Lord Reverend Lee Rodriguez. Joining me tonight, we got Mr. Jason Nyes.
Tanya.
Jose Guzman.
Eggnog season, motherfuckers.
Kelly Harris.
You ain't getting good crack for $5.
No, sir.
Oh my God, we have been doing
and-
that so much.
The finger guns.
The finger guns.
Oh, and conspicuous by his absence is our good buddy Mahoney. He's in fucking North Carolina. That's it. No bit. Just fucking North Carolina for some reason.
Yeah, go see if you can find him.
Yeah, that's almost a bit in and of itself.
We were going to tell all of our stories at him.
Yeah. What's he doing?
Man,
He's
I don't
trying
know.
out for the Carolina
Don't call.
Panthers.
Someone call him.
Lame
Remember?
work shit.
Remember when Lee was going to... Or who said call him from the hotel room?
I did. I was like, it's Tuesday. It's podcast night. Call Mahoney.
Yeah, I was saying to Jose today, I should have had something recording when we went to Lee's hotel room. We basically did a podcast.
We 100% did a podcast.
But we can do it again
Yeah.
now, baby.
Yep.
And we all have a chair.
That's true.
Is that facts?
Oh, I mean, I'm
Oh,
assuming
oh.
everyone's sitting in a chair.
Yeah,
I'm sitting in a
I would
chair.
assume so. Yeah.
Okay, just checking, just checking.
Lee's
just
got a
checking.
standing desk now.
Definitely do not have a standing desk. Yeah. I told these guys today, my father-in-law, both my in-laws are coming to hang out with the kids while the missus and I are on our vacation in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Our big 20-year anniversary vacation.
20-year fucking suck fest.
It's going to be pretty wild. pretty looking forward to it. It's not going to be that. You know what I'm saying? But my father-in-law yesterday was like, hey, I just wanted to ask if it's okay. Like, can I use your desk while we're in town? Can I use your desk while you're gone? And I just look at my desk and I'm like, no. And that's not personal. It's just like, there's no fucking way you can use this desk. I slip into this desk like a custom-made glove. There's exactly enough room for me to do my business, and not an inch more that's not covered in bullshit.
Yeah.
There would be shit everywhere. And I'm like, I promise you'll be better off at the table downstairs. You will have a better time, I assure you.
My response,
We'll see how it goes.
if my father-in-law wanted to use my office I'd be like, all right, I mean, that's fine. Just know that's where I masturbate a lot.
I'm just looking around. Like, there's nothing up here for him. It's he would not have a good time.
He would fucking just push everything off of your desk like a cat.
See, but it wouldn't even be on purpose. It
Right.
wouldn't even be on purpose. Just like, just natural movements. It would be a disaster for all parties involved. It'd be a disaster. So we'll not be doing that. Oh my god. So yeah, we were out. What the fuck were we out 2 weeks ago? For some reason we were out 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember. But last week
we did Fortnite.
That's right.
It was because Kelly Kelly had a fucked up.
Yeah, it
UPS
was a real
order.
CP boy.
Excuse me.
That's right. Okay, I'm back now. Yes, we did Fortnite, which now apparently has Jack Skellington and Michael Myers, which is a wild cut. Like, the thought of either of those guys running around at an island with a machine gun shooting burger heads is interesting.
Yeah,
to say the least.
the idea of Michael Myers running anywhere.
Yeah, right.
And then
Yeah, running.
if
That
you're
motherfucker ain't
if you're
running.
Jack Skellington, it's like you're just making yourself a target with that gigantic head.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the
Respect.
same hitbox as everybody else, but that thing's a target.
A melon.
Funny as hell. But but last week we were wrapping up our return to Toy Fair in New York. I mean, just Toy Fair.
With that exclamation point, you like that? I think you
Toy
know where
Fair!
they got that.
Exclamation point.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit. So big news coming out of the event that there will not be a Toy Fair in 2024 because the timing just doesn't make sense. And then there will be one in 2025, but then that will, at least for the foreseeable future, be the final one in New York as they move this bitch down to New Orleans. I think we collectively breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Because I think as a unit, we all came away with a big fuck New York.
Fuck New York, yeah.
Like, fucking over New York.
I said to
Concrete
Jose.
jungle where dreams are made of was the refrain of the week.
I said to Jose today, maybe it was because we had the ladies with us. Maybe it was because of the fucked up weather when we got in there. Maybe it was just, it's been a couple years since we've been to New York, but man, it was real intense. And maybe it was because Tito was. I said maybe it's because Tito isn't with us, and Lee said, "Don't put that evil on Tito. This whole city needs to answer for itself."
I will not put the weight of that on my good buddy Tito's shoulders. I'm not gonna let you do it.
We have a little bit of insight into. Well, no, we don't have any official insight into why Toy Fair is moving to New Orleans, but we definitely realized why we don't want to come back to New York because everything's fucking expensive. I saw that first Uber price, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a tough week."
Yeah, just to get from the airport to the hotel, it was $70+.
Yep.
Like,
that's where I was
okay,
at too.
This is what we're doing. Okay, I
Mhm.
see.
Welcome to New
All right.
York, baby.
And it was raining.
You don't like it? Walk.
It was raining, so everything was surge pricing. Apparently, they have
I
another.
felt like an asshole because
They have another definition of an Uber XL in New York than what is widely known.
The night before I left, I was just looking. I'm like, okay, I could get from here to the airport for $3 if I took the subway. And then I thought about having to do that, and I was like, I'll pay $70 and get in the Uber.
Yeah. Sometimes you
Thought
just
of
got to make
taking-
that decision just out of the kindness of your sanity. We could have gotten on the subway at any point. But if it was
we sure could have.
if it was nuts up above the ground,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be stuck on a metal tube with a bunch of these people.
No, you sure don't. You sure don't, because they are fucking, as the kids say, they're fucking wildin' up in New York these days, y'all.
They
don't,
sure as fuck are. No matter how much
don't-
New York you think it is, it's more.
Yeah. You're not ready.
Because the
You're
shit's
not
open,
prepared.
and everybody wants a piece now. Everybody wants to be outside. Everybody wants to be out, and everyone's fucking horrible since coming out of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Just monsters on the streets. No fucking care of anything. Same thing on the airplanes. Just fucking dickheads.
There were a couple times, and I said this while we were walking around, that I would spot just some sticking out like a sore thumb tourists, and it's just like,
So
man,
many.
for some reason I have the desire to rob this person right now. It just seems so easy. They look like such a fucking target, just looking up at the buildings and pointing, camera around their neck. Like, I get it. And they're just so many. There's so many of them.
And I would say I've never been anywhere in my life where I was more scared of bike traffic than car traffic.
It's insane.
Like, the car traffic is no picnic, but the lack of regard for anything by these fucking cyclists is insane.
The regard of
bicycles,
human life.
e-bikes. Yeah, they don't slow down for fuck all. Like Kelly and I watched a small child almost get plastered to the pavement by a lunatic on a scooter Friday night.
It was insane.
You guys
Big
had
Mahoney.
you guys had a real exciting Friday.
Yeah. Just and at the very last second they were pulled out of the way by their mom. This fucking kid was just looking at the menu of a food truck, and this bike comes up between the curb and where the food truck was, and was like, I'm gonna mow whoever the fuck is in my way down.
And he's on a little scooter, and he's wailing on the horn, right? Just wailing on the horn. Just you know what he's not doing? Touching the brake. He's not giving the brake a little check. Nothing. He's like, we're going. Fuck you, little kid. I don't give a fuck if you want a falafel. It's time to die.
You blare your horn in New York. Nobody's looking, especially not a little kid looking at a food truck menu.
No.
Because everyone's blaring their horn all the time.
We're headed to the airport, and a ambulance passed us, and I saw the ambulance driver lay on his fucking horn.
Yeah.
Just straight up, just like, bing! Locked to the forearm and everything. We were talking about why don't they have ambulance helicopters in New York? I feel like it would be much faster.
There's no way to land that fucker.
Or
there's no way to land a helicopter in New York.
Okay,
Jump out.
We had talked
You
about
throw down the wood ladder.
or you do like a bike messenger ambulance, so they can weave through the traffic better.
I'd feel like I would get to the hospital faster in an ambulance rickshaw than an actual ambulance in New York. That is 100% true.
Yeah.
They have rickshaws in New York now. That's a new thing.
They sure do. Yeah.
A lot and they're very loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all blasting music, and I don't understand why they think that is a selling
That's
point.
what they do. That's how it is. You want to be
But I don't want to ride on that.
Everybody wants to have the Instagram moment bullshit on their thingy, and people fucking eat it up.
More than
because they wouldn't be doing it if it didn't work.
I don't get it.
More than any other New York trick that I've made, it felt like this trip, more people were out to just rob you and scam you than ever before.
Yeah,
because the suckers
but not
are out.
Physically rob you.
Right, not physically, but screw you over
mentally.
a little bit.
Yeah,
yeah.
I will mentally rob you.
Oh man, we got mentally held hostage one night.
But we'll get there. We should probably just go in order of
Yeah.
everything. Make sure we don't miss stuff. So I'd say we should start at Thursday.
You got in first.
I got in first.
Yeah.
So I got in New York pretty easily. Flight was smooth. I got to the hotel, and the guy was he was very helpful. But I didn't have to put down a credit card for anything.
I don't get it. I don't get how you got by not putting a credit card down, but fucking good on you.
All he said was like, so the company is paying for it? And I just said, yeah. And then he was like, all right, cool.
That's wild.
So then, while I was
He
waiting for
wasn't
everyone
wrong.
else to get in, I was like, I'm going to go on adventures. So I go out, go to Stop Walk, sitting there waiting to cross, and there's this woman walks up next to me. I would, in her 20s, I would wager, just doing the finger guns to no one, just having a grand old time.
Just pop, 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 like a finger gun dance. As you
Yeah,
described.
she's having a great time.
Bang bang gang.
Yeah, bang bang gang. And I'm like, I wonder where she's going. Light changes, she zooms off. I'm like, oh, okay.
Zooms off.
I keep going forward to my destination.
Skitters.
Yeah, she skitters away, heading to my destination. I'm like, oh, it's that lady from before. She's talking to some men outside of this building. And as I'm walking past, I hear one of the men tell her, "You ain't getting good crack for $5." I was like, well, this explains so much.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah, you ain't getting good crack for $5.
You're getting some fucking peeled potatoes.
Oh God. And right there, really set the stage. I feel like.
Yeah.
It really did. And then I went to Midtown Comics, and then I went to Gordon Ramsay's Fish and Chips.
Boy.
I'm kind of sad we didn't go
Boy.
back there. That looked really good.
Yeah, we never made it happen, but it was very good.
Love a good fish and chip.
Yeah.
And then
Cheese and cracker.
as we were coming in, the storm was also coming in.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
So we were supposed to hit Central Park that afternoon, evening, but it was just shitty and cold, and it was supposed to rain for the first 3 days of the trip. And then we see the news the next day, and fucking Brooklyn is flooded. There's water coming through the subway tiles. There's a video of a bus in floodwaters up to like
With passengers.
3 foot outside the bus, and then floodwaters about 1.5 feet inside the bus.
Insane.
It was, I don't know if it was as national news as I thought it
should
was,
have been.
but it looked fucked. I thought that maybe this was spread across the world because it looked real bad, and people were having a hard time. It was a state of emergency in New York, and we had just gotten in.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Welcome
it
to the
turned out to
jungle.
pretty much just be localized to Brooklyn.
Which
Yeah, like
Sucks.
it was shitty and rainy on Friday when we got up, but like it wasn't biblical. But if you just went a little bit over that away, it was like fucking round up a couple of every animal you find.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
get real.
definitely watch where you hop the curb though, because
Yeah.
all of
Oh,
the
yeah.
New York soup was up. Fresh soup for everybody.
A lot of soup.
They had to cancel the third part of the New York Triathlon because there was so much debris churned up from the storm that they didn't want people swimming in the river and getting stuck with fucking hypodermic needles.
Jesus Christ.
They didn't say hypodermic needles, but they said it with their eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
We knew what
Right.
they meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That delicious New York soup.
The high
That
boat
same
is
water
implied.
they make the pizza dough out of.
Oh, maybe that's what all that shit was in that delicious crust we had the other night.
Oh my god, worth it.
Fucking New York soup debris.
All the needles.
Just crushed up.
God. Just,
Well,
just
speaking of needles,
finally grated crack rock.
me and the lady went to the 7-Eleven one night, grabbed some stuff. We're heading back to the hotel, and at the corner, well, on the way to the 7-Eleven, I see a guy. They have like these booths, info booths, but it also has like USB plugs and shit, so people can just charge their shit while they're walking on the street real quick.
So they can
But
steal all your information.
Yeah. It usually just turns into people shooting up while they're charging their phone. So we were walking by the first time, and he was all slumped over. I was like, and his friend looked real worried about him. Like, huh, that's weird. Go to 7-Eleven, which is even weirder because this one guy he doesn't have the money for the pizza, but he's like saying he wants a piece of the pizza. And then he's telling him, give me the biggest piece because he's really hungry. He grabs a piece and gives it to him. And then he bitches that that's not the biggest piece of the pizza. You give me a small piece. You cheat me on my money. That's fucked up. How about a discount for the pizza that I'm missing on that piece because I wanted that bigger piece? And I think he just told him yes just to get him out of there. So he left the money and left. So on the way back, we see the same guy who was slumped over, but then I see the needle next to him. And I'm like, that's what it was. And then, like, a block later, just straight out of a movie, a family at New York, and all they know is go there, be anything, movies, rah, rah, rah.
Like straight out of Iowa, you said.
Yeah, straight out of fucking Iowa. And you hear the kids, yay, Daddy! There was a souvenir store. Can we go in the souvenir store? Yeah, kids, let's go. And I'm like, Jesus, what are they going to be their reaction when they go the next block down and see the two guys shooting up?
I made the joke that at Times Square, instead of like cracked out Elmo, they should have mascots of like New York stereotypes. You got your fucking junkie. You got your evil cops.
Yeah.
Did you notice how many of those souvenir stores had shirts right out front that just said "fuck you, you fucking fuck"?
Yeah. There were so many "fuck you, you fucking fuck."
There was a lot more weed imagery this trip than I remember previously. It was like every fifth
There's a lot
store
more weed.
was
fucking
a weed
everywhere.
Store.
Yeah.
It's turning back into the Times Square before Rudy Giuliani fucked it up. The good old days.
Not that.
Like Frank Miller's New York, here we come.
Yeah, this is definitely the type of New York that you expect the Ninja Turtles are just simmering below the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking threaten you with a good time.
There's gonna be a reckoning.
Yes, I get in mad late to the hotel, but got in and I was at a different hotel than everybody else.
Yeah.
So something got fucked up with the bookings, so I ended up it was like, a literal 4-minute walk. So it wasn't like it was really far or anything. But I go and I get checked in, and I go up and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is, because up until now, usually we had 2 beds in the rooms, and I'm like, this is the smallest fucking hotel room I've ever been in my life. Nice, but fucking tiny.
It's New York.
And then I see the rest of you guys. Yeah, fucking New York, right. But okay, fine. No big deal. And it wasn't until Tuesday you rolled up and you're like, this is nicer than all of our fucking rooms.
Yeah.
Because it is. I had a fridge, I had a coffee maker, I had fucking amenities that you guys had to have paid extra for.
Yeah. And
yeah,
the
like
most
fridge,
basic things.
that'd be $50 a day, sir.
in general, it just seemed like a better hotel experience. Like
It was a very nice hotel experience.
the New Yorker
except for the one
stinks.
thing we'll get to.
It stinks. It smells like everything was wet at one point and then it dried out. And like they didn't have me and Jose's double room, so we were all forced to sleep with our spouses in the same bed like some weirdos. But yeah.
Then we get to Lee's hotel, and I'm looking for the elevator line.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Just the New Yorker is just, it's for tourists. It's so that
It's so old.
if you get lost, you could be like, oh, there's our hotel. Just walk that way.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, I am making sure to make a note of this for next Toy Fair, that we all go to Lee's hotel. Please.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Please stop torturing us with the New Yorker.
Because that's the thing about I think this hotel had 14 floors. So it wasn't huge. You know, handful of elevators, so they always worked. You know, it wasn't a huge line. Like the New Yorker has, I don't know, 11,000 floors.
I think 40.
They have 18 elevators. Yeah, 40 floors, 18 elevators, but only 3 of them ever work at a time.
Right.
Yeah. I was on floor 37.
Oh, God. Yeah, so you were waiting. So when you do get the elevator, you're lucky to get in it. You're going to stop at every fucking floor on the way down so everybody can go, no, it's full, no, it's full, no, it's full. So it takes 20 minutes to get downstairs in the elevator. You're better off fucking jumping down the stairs.
Yeah, no shit. We were on 21, and the cutoff was 20 through however far it went. So at one point in the morning, just to get the fuck out of there, we had to walk down to 19 because the other side was working quicker. So you gotta play that fucking elevator game. It was all bullshit.
Just crowded, just crawling with like European tourists that looked like they were all gonna get robbed and left for dead. Let's all wear these bright green hats so they can identify our bodies in Central Park.
Yeah, just big groups of people in bright green and like bright yellow hats.
Jesus Christ. But, you know, we brave the elements, catch a ride Friday morning to the Hasbro event, and what a waste of time that was.
Yeah.
It was a mulligan.
Typically, they had like a whole... It was very much a mulligan year. But, like, typically, like, you know, the Hasbro thing is... It's like... What, 2 floors, this massive fucking building they dress up with all the stuff and whatever. And this was like a storefront with just, it looked like a flea market. It was very, very weird compared to years past. And it was all shit that we had seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really new, whatever. And that's kind of the first bit of feedback that we got where people were like, why the fuck are we doing this in October? This is silly. A theme that we would hear many times.
People were just really frank with you guys about, they saw those Toy Association badges and they're like, all right, let me tell you what's up.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to these guys.
You go
everyone seemed to be having a good time. Like, the vibe was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the vibe was good. People were having a good time, but there was definitely a bit of like, fuck, come on, October? What the fuck are we doing here? You know?
Like we're here, but, you know.
But, you know, wish it was a time that was more conducive to, you know, the business. But that's fine. And then we head to the Jabbits and get set up for Friday, and that's when we kind of get a look of how things get a look behind the curtain a little bit and how shit's getting built up. And Jose's like, yep, I do that different, do that different, do that different.
I've got to see our old office again, which I don't know how we ever lucked into a private office with a private bathroom, but I'm not going to ask.
That we've had every year as the same one every time. It's So good, so nice.
And nobody even asked to use our bathroom this year. Like we were all alone.
Yeah, they must have had their own secret shitter.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
They're like, we can't shit with these guys listening again next year.
Because that's what it would be. We would all go silent while somebody was in the fucking bathroom because we didn't want to say anything to get ourselves in trouble, but also we didn't want to disturb their poops.
Yeah, and then here they come walking out in a room full of people they don't know who all know they just took a shit.
Yep.
I brought a bottle of poopery just for all those strangers.
And it's better that way because, you know, it is kind of weird.
We wild, man.
Like, hey, people, taking a shit. Don't you guys talk about me behind my back.
So instead of listening to strangers' shit, we just listen to Mary's shit.
Yeah. It was hot, too. No.
Real hot brown.
Yeah.
Doo-doo brown.
So, you know, by that point, we got our feet wet, quite literally,
Mm-hmm.
getting back in the saddle of things. And Kelly and I wanted to go on an adventure to check out a couple of the Japan shit stores around. They started stuff was opening back up because the weather was gone, which is cool because, you know, we were gonna be real sad. Didn't get to do what we wanted to do, especially me. I was like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, it seemed like
this for weeks.
Earlier that day into the afternoon, Times Square was essentially shut down.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, no, it's just Brooklyn. Come the fuck back to work."
Yeah.
And so people came back to work. It was on that walk that we watched the youth almost get plastered by the scooter. Where
and then
we almost
minutes later,
almost certainly saw a dead body.
Yeah. At best, this man was non-consensually sleeping.
Yes. I said unconscious was best case. Unconscious, very different than sleeping. Not the same thing at all. In the same neighborhood, but with a big wall between them. You know?
Right. Because the way you described him, it sounded like he had crumpled, not like curled up in a nice little ball to take a nap.
No. Face in the concrete, arms at his side,
Yeah.
and a very not cool position. Like he wasn't snuggling up for comfort.
He didn't look
He wasn't
adorable.
like that rat we saw sleeping on the sidewalk on Tuesday night with his little feetsies under his chin and his legs
That
sprawled out.
adorable little ratatouille.
Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that rat was having a big time. And was that also the walk where we met homeboy at the bakery and he gave us free snack?
Yes.
Free bread? Yes.
That is that. Because Leah didn't know what a meringue was, and I could not think of what it was called, and I was just saying it was like sweet styrofoam, which is not incorrect.
Yeah, like I know what meringue is. I've seen like on pies and shit like that, but this was like a
solid.
foam, solid, like beautiful brick of whatever the fuck. And so we go into this bakery, and it's like a really nice bakery. And homeboys talking about our shirts and shit like that, and you know we buy a couple of little snacks for the walk, and then he's like, "You guys want some fucking bread on the house? Some sweet t-shirts?" And we're like, "Sure." And so for the rest of the night, every time I open my bag, I got a whiff of that delicious bread.
Just the whimsiest little baker you've ever met. He was great.
Yeah, he was
What
awesome.
was that place called?
It had a really long French-sounding name.
It was very French.
It was very.
It was
French.
like Snacks du Jeff or something.
Yeah. He was Puerto Rican. The name of the bakery was very French, but he was Puerto Rican.
It's like the Little Italy restaurant we went to that was staffed almost entirely by Egyptians.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we ended up from there. We what was next? We went to the Kinokuniyo. Is that what it's called? The bookstore?
Kinokuniya.
Yeah, which is pretty fucking cool. It was a really neat place. 3 floors, very much done up in the style of like a traditional Japanese bookstore, which is kind of neat. All kinds.
Yeah,
of
we
cool
bought
shit.
a lot of Japan shit.
They didn't have any Funko Pops at that store, did they?
You know,
They
I don't
did
think
not.
they did actually.
Good.
I don't believe they did.
Yeah, didn't see one.
Not even of a Japan shit character. There were just none to be had, I don't think. And then from there we made it to the Tamashii Nation store in Times Square, which is really fucking cool.
Very cool.
Just a cool design. Just everything about the presentation is cool. Just it's a neat spot.
It felt like a Toy Fair booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a permanent installation, and you can take the stuff home if you buy it there. It's not just like looky but don't touch. But it's so well maintained and so clean. So like they have the display cases where the figures are out of the packages, like on stands and shit like that. And it's like, this is what it looks like, and this is how much it costs. Like the little placard shows the cost of whatever. And then below that, sometimes, but not always, but sometimes those figures in boxes. There's definitely some figures in boxes beneath the display cases. But some of the display cases are just that, display cases, and there's glass in them. So the first time I reached for something, I punched the glass. I'm like, oh, shit. And so every time after that I reach for something, I kind of very diligently reach for it, like, can I, okay, cool, yeah, I can touch this. All right, I can pick this up. So clean. That might be the clean. Tamashii Nation might be the cleanest building in New York City.
It very well might be. Oh, and I looked it up. The place we went to with the meringues is called Au Merveille de Fred.
That's the one. Yeah, I remember some weird, like, just Fred at the end. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. But that was pretty fucking rad.
Fred.
Big shouts out to Fred. Got some fucking toys for me and for the kids. It was a big toy day, and then we went back and got more toys because I'm not going to get more toys because it was pretty fucking rad there.
Yeah, you hit that place at least
Twice,
4 out of the 5 times that we were there.
I
feel
went
like.
twice.
Okay. Well, didn't you go? So there was Friday, and
oh
then,
yeah, I guess I did go 3 times. Yeah.
You left our dinner on Sunday night and was like, I'm gonna go buy myself some toys.
Yeah, because I was.
And then we went
really
last night
feeling
too.
life.
Yeah. Needed that hit.
Yep.
Needed that hit, and fucking, I got nothing. Shit, I'm watching TV in the room, so I just went home and went back to the room and played with toys for a little while. It was nice.
Hell yeah.
Why not? It was good.
Why wouldn't you watch TV in your room? Your TV looked nice.
Because I don't watch a real TV.
Mm.
It's gross. The commercials and shit. Ugh.
Physical TV? Ugh.
Yeah. Instead of watch the shit that I wanted to watch on my fancy schmancy iPad. Which at that point,
You didn't watch Spanish dub Transformers?
Optimo Primo.
I would. Oh my god. And then was that the night we all went into the Kung Fu Kitchen?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boys have been talking about Kung Fu Kitchen for years, and I gotta tell you, it fucking came correct. Kung Fu Kitchen was
delivered.
some real shit.
It was pretty
It
great.
was very, very good.
I love that
It
place.
was very good. Well, nice. It's like, we're gonna come back here every fucking day. Never made it back. They just give me options,
Yeah, so that's the place with the soup dumplings that we fell in love with. So I say, as we're ordering, I'm like, all right, so everybody get your entree, and then we'll get a bunch of, what the fuck's it called? What's the Japanese name for, like, all the little appetizers and stuff? I want to say sashimi, but it's not sashimi. Anyhow, so we're like, let's get a bunch of these appetizers, then let's get, like, a thing of soup dumplings for anybody that doesn't get them. They can try a soup dumpling. And Jose's like,
Yeah, soup dumplings for the table. So you
Jose's
can
like, okay,
try them out.
so you're gonna get soup dumplings, then we're gonna get 1 for the table. No, let's get 4.
Well, I was thinking everybody was going to have at least 2 because I ordered with the enthusiasm that I eat soup dumplings.
Right.
And I know I can house 1.5 of those by myself easy.
Right. I think the last time we went, didn't we both get 2 and then we got
Yeah.
food to go?
Yeah, we ordered 4 and they looked at us like, y'all crazy. And we said, yes, ma'am.
But we also all got entrees and shit like that too. And so
Yeah.
Jose's like, bring us 4 additional entrees, please. Well, we did a pretty
ate
good
all
number
them.
on them. I think
we
maybe
only left a
didn't
couple.
eat 3 of them. Yeah, did pretty good.
But it definitely got to the point where you put 1 more in your mouth and it's going to be a bad time.
Yeah, I was looking at them like, I could, let's be real. I could put one of these down, but then, I'm going to walk like half a mile back to the hotel with all the belly full of soup dumplings.
Belly full of soup.
And And then there was those pork buns that were so fucking good.
Yeah.
Fuck, those were good. Yeah, no, it was all good. It was all great. I got noodles, and it was all delicious. It was excellent.
Yeah.
So, big shouts out to Kung Fu Kitchen. This shit's legit.
I forget every time because it was still a little rainy, still a little cold, and it's an Asian restaurant, so you think, oh, they're gonna have hot tea for sure. And I've done it before. I'm like, can I have a hot tea? And they're like, we don't have hot tea. We have this very specific regional boba tea, no hot tea. It's $9 a bottle. It's like, oh, I just want like a tea bag and some hot water with a little bit of sugar, just to warm up my cockles. Good thing there was plenty of soup dumplings to go around. Just go.
And they're like, "Fuck off, Whitey."
Yeah.
Get here, Guilo.
But it was really great. Then we headed back to the hotels and then got ready for Saturday. And the shit got real. Met up at this bodega right down the end of the block from my hotel, which I stocked up there the night before, the night when I got in, rather. Good sandwiches, good people. Hey, that's like places like that. That's like the good side of New York.
Yeah,
there's some cool shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's
like
the convenience.
That's a very authentic New York place.
Not too expensive.
Not too expensive.
And they get you in and out, and they've got whatever you need, really.
Yeah. I bought a bar of soap there one day because like I like my fucking Irish Spring, and I didn't bring some, and they had some, and she was like, yeah, and she got a little claw grabber guy and got it off the back wall. Yeah, that part is convenient and is nice, but you know, I'm also staying 3 doors down, you know, right next door to a police station, which meant that all night long it was just sirens and noise as they were coming and going, so I had to play a white noise
trying
machine
to get through
like
a light?
2-year-old. Right.
The police station.
Speaking
AKA...
of the police, what night was it when we were coming back and there was the whoop whoop?
Was that
in the street?
Was that the juniors night? We were coming back from juniors.
That was the night before.
Juniors.
Was it Kung Fu Kitchen night? Did we all walk back together that night?
I think we did.
It might have been Kung Fu Kitchen night. It might have been. Yeah, so we're walking. I think it was, yeah, because we're walking back, and you know, again, we got to part ways a little bit because you know these guys are going to their hotel, I'm going to mine. So like, it's basically they're just crossing the street to get to their hotel. I'm not, because mine's on this side of the street. I'm just going the other direction. And as we're coming up to the intersection, there's this dude, and I think he's like going to accost the dude in front of him, but he was just out to accost anybody, I guess. He had what appeared to be like a closed box cutter, like a utility knife.
And we all missed this detail.
Yeah. And also the dude claimed he was like helping the person in front of him cross the street.
Right. But his eyes were way too aggressive to be helping anybody.
So it was the helper guy that had the box cutter, or the guy crossing the street?
Well, they're both crossing the street.
Right. But there was the one guy who was like shambling across the street, and then the other guy that was helping him. Who had the box cutter?
The other guy had the box cutter, like the non-shambler.
Okay.
The guy who, if you're looking at the two of them, you think this guy has his shit together. He did not. So, as he's walking across the street, someone's trying to turn, because it's New York, no one gives a shit.
Right.
And this motherfucker just like, you know, the guy gives him a little toot on the horn, and so.
And then the guy's like, I'm fucking walking here helping this guy.
No, but then he just goes and he just stands directly in front of the car. Like, you know, he stops. Yeah. Whatever he was doing beforehand, that's over now. This car is his primary focus. So he just turns directly facing the car and just walks, like, and puts his thighs on the hood, just like standing right in front of it. Like, I fucking dare you to move. And everybody else is like, well, we're crossing the street, Lee. Have a good one. And I'm like, wait, what?
We are avoiding this.
Yeah. And this guy tries to, you know, turn a little bit more. And so he fucking bumps into the guy. He goes, you fucking hit me with your car now? You're going to hit me? You're going to hit me now, you bitch? And starts yelling and screaming, talking about sucking dicks and all this crazy shit. And that's when we hear little Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Cop in an SUV.
Whoop, whoop.
Car
Who was
takes off,
directly
whatever.
behind them the entire time.
Yes. And at
Watching
some
the
point
whole
it's like-
thing.
And then at some point, when it looks like he's about to get violent, he's like, ugh.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Like,
Whoop,
he's
whoop.
fucking annoyed.
Whoop, whoop.
This car takes off. The cop comes up, gives him another little whoop whoop, which in most situations would at the very least kind of like diffuse it.
Diffuse
Guy, like,
the
you think the
situation,
guy would be
yeah.
like, fine, fuck it, whatever, fine, and move on with this day. No, not this guy. This guy, now he starts, now the cop has his focus.
Yeah, he turns to the cop and is like, fuck you, this guy hit me with his car. And then the cop is pretty much just like, all right, fair enough.
Drives
And
off.
goes
I
on
will-
about his night.
I will
Touche,
in fact, go fuck
lunatic.
myself and suck a dick. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go suck some dicks over there. You. And so the last time I saw him, the last time I saw this man, he practically had his hand in the passenger window of this cop car, giving him the finger so aggressively, turning, and he was turning towards me and walking in my general direction. And I'm like, oh, it turns out I gotta cross the street too. Good night, guys.
The cop
Dustin-
said, I'm not doing any of this paperwork. I am out of here.
No.
Nobody ever saw me.
I am neither serving nor protecting night. Not happening. Like, just a fucking, like, a genuine menace. And this cop's like, whoop whoop.
Not me.
And
The
you can
most
just
polite police siren you've ever heard in your entire life.
while this is all going on, you can just picture the river of pink slime coursing through the city.
Oh, it's fucking wild. Absolutely wild. So the next day,
It's Toy Fair.
was Toy Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all before the main show.
This is all the preamble for the
Yeah.
real
This
thing.
is the buy-in. Yeah. So
Yeah, the
Plan
most
is meet up at my
exciting stuff
hotel.
did not happen at the show.
no, not at all. The show was fine, but we had some wild New York shit. But we plan was meet up at my hotel. We'll walk down to the bodega, get some breakfast, and hoof it down to the Javits. Because it's like, what would you say? Like a 5-block walk to the Javits straight away. Like, it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's like I
I
think
gotta
a
tell you.
10-minute walk total.
And I gotta tell you, those walks do feel a lot shorter in October compared to February. I'll tell you that
Oh,
much.
yeah.
It was because it's the same. It's the same. You guys stayed at the same hotel. I'm like a couple minutes down the road, but it felt like a breeze compared to slogging through the bitter February cold of New York.
Yeah, I gotta
Falling
say,
off
I'm
the
a
everything.
little bit concerned about the next show
About
happening in
March?
January.
Oh, it's in
March.
January? Oh,
I think it's in January.
January is New Orleans, though.
Yeah, no. I
Is
think the last New York was, I think, March.
Right.
Oh,
And then
okay.
January shifts when it goes to
New
New
Orleans.
Orleans.
Okay, that's better then. That's fine.
Zatarans in January.
Yeah, January's Zatarans is gonna be all right.
Yeah.
It might be a little chilly. It gets chilly in Florida in January, but not New York January.
Exactly.
Not
Like, go
go
down-
into the panel to cover it, and you come out into a 15 inches of snow that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. So I go down to meet the guys, and I see they've got a fucking like a breakfast buffet set up. And I'm like, oh shit. No, I'll keep that in my back pocket for later, because I've been to hotels before. I've been to breakfasts. I know how this shit works.
I've been known to eat some shit.
Yeah. So just pimp out and meet up with them. Everything's cool. Saturday, I was going through my photos today, trying to remember what happened when. My big takeaway from Saturday is that for the second time, we coincidentally happened to be in the same place as David Arquette. And that was such a weird fucking coincidence.
Whoa,
Such an
you mean
odd
to
thing.
tell me we saw certified Bob Ross instructor David Arquette?
Certified Bob Ross instructor, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, David Arquette, in New Orleans at a wrestling thing and a toy fair, painting.
Happy little trees.
Bob Ross Company.
Yeah, but really, if you're gonna see David Arquette, I feel like the wrestling show made more sense.
Sure, yeah, but like he wasn't on the card.
Mhm.
He was just there. You know, it wasn't something you were banking on. Well, fucking David Arquette's here, and then to run into him again, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's such a weird. Our lives are strange sometimes, you guys.
Mhm.
Our lives are weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that
looking
was-
through the
that was-
footage, and I don't recognize him at first, and then he turns to the camera, like, oh yeah, that's David Arquette. I remember now.
Yeah, right. And was that when? I think Saturday is also when we met this old hippie dude
Yeah,
who
Yep.
invented this like
Tanglers.
The Tangle or
nighttime-
something.
yeah. We were talking to him because he invented the nighttime pickleball set, which is like one of the hot things that we're talking about
Trending.
or whatever. Yeah. And so we go to the booth. I'm like, hey, we need to talk about the pickleball thing. And there's this very attractive lady because they always bring they always bring out the hottest people to these things.
the
'cause
top
it's trade
talent.
show. That's how they work. Yeah,
Yeah.
top talent. And so this hot lady walks up and we're like, hey, we're going to talk about the pickleball thing. She's like, okay, cool. And then so she goes and retrieves a second hot lady. And so this hot lady is like, okay, yeah, cool. And she's like rearranging like the shit that's on the pegs, like I assume to set up the shot, behind her. So that all the pickleball shit is right there, whatever. And then the first hot lady brings up this old hippie who, like, such an old hippie that he's not even wearing his fucking name badge. He was like, I'm not doing that conformist shit. I'm not wearing a name badge. I'm just going to hang out here and be an old hippie. At
Hemp
my
rope
fucking
belt.
booth.
Yep.
Hemp rope belt, lots of bracelets, just a straight up old school
San
hippie dude.
Francisco hippie.
Real Crystal Daddy.
San Francisco. Yeah, absolutely, Crystal Daddy. Fucking absolute unit. This hippie, and he's talking about the fucking pickleball and the Tangler, which is a thing that if you don't know it's called the Tangler, you've definitely seen it a million times.
Yeah.
It's like the little segmented, like rope thing, like a plastic segmented rope toy that's a loop that you can kind of. He said it was the original fidget toy, and it absolutely is that. It's totally the original fidget toy. And so we're gonna talk about that. He gives us a whole bunch of those things, and we're talking. Everything is cool, and then he's like, yeah, now that these Tanglers are pretty cool. Like, first he's talking about the pickleball. He's like, I'm old school. Yeah, I'm from the 1960s in San Francisco. We like pickling, we like balling, we like pickleballing, like all this stuff. And we're like, oh, this guy's a fucking trip.
That is a
and
man that loves pickling.
Oh yeah,
Mhm. And
loves
balling.
loves
And when
balling.
he pickles and he balls hard.
And then he's like, let's just pull you over here. Let me show you this new version of the fucking Tangler thing, whatever.
But
And
he wasn't
look,
talking
Mary-
to us. He was talking
Nope.
to Mary
Yes.
only.
Yeah, and so Mary's like, I'll go check out the new fucking Tangler thing.
And we kind of just let her go.
How could you guys?
And I made a joke.
We had
That
eyes
said-
on him the whole time.
Yeah. I made a joke and said, oh, Nyes is going to lose a wife. And then the woman at the booth made the most knowing chuckle I've ever heard, as though to say, wouldn't be the first time.
That man's ruined many a marriage.
Yep.
Oh, there's no way. Like I said, you ever see someone and you're like, oh, this person has absolutely been in multiple group sex scenarios. That's this old toy making hippie. like this guy was an OG San Francisco swinger from the looks of things.
And he's
just
got his
that kind of
hands on
fucking
my
vibe.
wife.
He did, straight up. He was a smitten old kitten. But she was like,
I get it.
only got eyes for one man. She was like, no, old hippie. And he was like, all right.
And we were like, wow, she came back.
She didn't start a new life in San Francisco, coming up with glow-in-the-dark sporting events.
We're like, didn't see that one coming.
She'd probably be better off with a hippie, we seem to say. To ourselves, not out loud until this moment. No. What a fucking trip that was.
And that was the first indication we got of there not being a toy fair next year, because he was like, "What'd you guys hear about this?" And we're like, nothing."
Nothing. All that we heard was that they're having a meeting to talk about it. He was like, there'll be no show next year. I got to make a fucking living selling this shit. Okay, all right, man. All right, enjoy your pickling and balling, homie. And he was fucking right. He had the hot goss, as it turns out.
Yeah, the goddamn scoop.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else noteworthy happened on Saturday.
Yeah, I got nothing else for Saturday.
The show was fucking smooth, man. Like,
Yeah,
the smoothest operation we've had so far. Like, very clear, shotless. We got it to do. Like, we didn't, I think the latest we were there was like what, 6?
No, it was
maybe one
the
night?
Build-A-Bear documentary. That was on Saturday. Was
Right.
the Build-A-Bear documentary?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, we did get to meet a bunch of fucking big wig people types in the toy world. We met the CEO of Build-A-Bear. We met like the director of like Lego North America, like a bunch of big name toy folks.
Mental health
Aaron.
awareness,
Crazy Aaron.
Happy Mental
Aaron,
Health
all this
Awareness Day to
delicious-
everybody, including Mental Health Awareness Aaron.
Yes.
I wish I had known about Animal Crossing Legos back then, because I would have given the Lego man a hug. And thanked him.
Delightful.
I would have whispered in his ear, "You're going to take all my money."
They had a full-on Build-A-Bear documentary premiere the first night of Toy Fair, and we just had to kind of hang out and get some shots of the movie starting up. We didn't know there was an hour cocktail hour that we had to kind of hang out for beforehand, but we just kind of sat there and
And that was
people
probably
watched.
the biggest inconvenience of the week.
Yeah.
But that was still
But we
pretty
did
cool.
get
were
to
just
see
hanging
those
out,
precision flying Javits turkeys.
Oh my god. Yes.
How did you remember that?
Because I was just telling someone that story earlier today. We were just sitting there waiting for something to happen, and then we just see some Javits turkeys, aka pigeons, fly through the halls as though they were the X-wings in the fucking end of Star Wars.
And this is
And
like
just-
the bottom floor of the Javits too. This is ground floor.
The last place you expect to see pigeons. And they are
Unless you're at the
zooming.
Javits.
Yeah. And they're just zooming through the halls, and we see them go directly into the kitchen.
They flew in through an open door right into the kitchen, probably right into a deep fryer.
Like where
Yeah.
they knew they were going.
Yeah.
They knew exactly where they were going. This is not the first time they've done this.
I couldn't help but think of that time I got a bird caught in my garage, and that stupid idiot couldn't figure out how to fly out with the garage door open. And these Javits pigeons are pinpointing a kitchen door like the fucking exhaust port on the Death Star.
Yeah.
Or it was like some John Wick hit and the guy uses pigeons to find his prey.
There it is. Yeah, it's Lawrence
Shit,
Fishburne.
who knows?
It was fucking nuts. It was one of those things where it's like, I'm glad someone else saw it
Yeah.
because no one would believe it.
Only
Yeah.
in New York, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure, like, we said the bottom floor of the Javits, but what if you've not been there before, you don't realize that floor is like subterranean. Like
Yeah.
it's the lower level. Like it's effectively a basement.
Concrete
these
jungle where pigeons are made from.
So they got in, navigated downstairs, and then made a beeline for the one open door that led into the kitchen. It was unbelievable. It was.
I would
unfucking
wager those pigeons are at least second, if not third generation Javits turkey. That have probably just lived their
That's
entire
a
lives in that
fucking
place.
Pixar movie for you.
Yeah.
Remember the fucking the Good Feathers and Animaniacs?
Oh yeah.
Unfucking real. It's so wild. So wild to see that. And every one of us have got cameras and phones. No one got it. No one got it.
Because it was
We're all
so
looking at other
fast.
shit. It was
Shoom.
so fast. And then there was a collective moment where all of us at the same time were like, Did you fucking see that?
Sure did.
It's like, as quick as they were here, they were gone.
Yeah, it was insane.
They were somebody else's problem at that point.
Oh, yeah. They lived in the kitchen now.
Got up Sunday. Well, no. Fuck. Saturday night. Anything cool happened Saturday night?
We went to Five Guys and made their eyes real big when 6 of us walked into Five Guys and ordered a shitload of burgers.
No, on the way to Five Guys, though.
Oh, yeah.
We see this man who is wearing, was it orange? Like an orange tracksuit almost?
I don't remember the color, but I remember the mask.
Yeah. Well, masks. Because
Right.
So orange tracksuit, loud music coming out of either his pants or his backpack. Don't know which, but no matter what, the speaker was nowhere near big enough to make that sort of sound.
I thought he had like a speaker on wheels.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, like a big ass fucking speaker with the little handle so that you can pull it around.
Okay. But none of that's the most important part. The most important part is the scary clown mask on the front of his head and the scary clown mask on the back of his head.
And both said, I'd some shit.
And he's doing push-ups against the building.
It's one of those things in New York where you have to look at it just to take it all in, but you can't look at it too long.
Because it looks back.
Or else they will alert to your presence.
Yep. You cannot acknowledge it is there in any way.
No, thank you. I thought at one point I saw the bum that threatened to punch me in the mouth. He was taking a little nap. It could have been a completely different person, but I'd like to think it was him. I'll knock you the fuck out. Please don't. Please don't.
Yeah, that was the only notable thing from Saturday night, really, was that horror show.
Except for when I knocked over my fucking fries at Five Guys.
Yeah. They put onions and mushrooms on my burger, so I got what I deserved.
Yeah. And he took it out of my poor fries.
Yeah.
No, it was fine. It's fine.
Too bad
Sunday morning,
at Five Guys they don't give you enough fries.
Jesus. Yeah, there's plenty of fries. Don't worry. So Sunday morning, get up, go down, meeting for breakfast. Gonna go down to the bodega.
The bodega. I forget which morning it was, but I remember hearing one of the employees be like, "Why does everybody want a croissant?
Yeah.
Why are they all ordering croissants?"
Yeah, because I guess New York, they probably don't do that. They're just straight bagel people.
On a roll.
Bagels are rolled.
Yeah.
So on the way out, I go over to the buffet and I grab a fucking couple of pieces of bacon and a couple of sausage links. I like a good sausage link.
This is one of my favorite bits from the whole week. I keep thinking about it, and it makes me smile every time.
We're getting there. We'll get to it. So I just grab a couple of sausage links, fucking hit the road, kick the bricks, just paw on some sausages, meet up with everybody, and go about our day.
It's just sucking down some links.
Yeah. And again, it's like nothing remarkable. It's the same kind of shit that you've seen at every hotel that has
every continental breakfast at a fucking Hampton Inn or a Courtyard Marriott.
The little round domed thing with a lid on top. You pull out with your eggs and shit like that. Like you've all seen it if you've been to any hotel with a breakfast. Nothing crazy. Go and have a pretty good Sunday. Again, met the fucking bigwig Jazzwares at the end of the day. Saw the
Jazzwares was on Saturday.
Man, it don't matter.
Oh, yeah,
it all
you're
blends together.
Sunday is when we saw Toddy Mac.
Oh,
yes,
that's right.
That's on my notes for Toddy Mac there. We saw Toddy Mac. We saw the human lava lamp lady, which was just weird.
Yeah, that was weird. I've seen the footage. I feel like she moved too fast.
But it was just the same
it was
thing.
So
like she just did the
weird.
same fucking little weird movement for like 20 minutes at a time. It was very odd.
It was
Looked
very
cool.
performance art-esque.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it was.
And like, what do you but you think about it and it's like, okay, it's getting people to take pictures at your booth. But like, are you selling anything based off of Human Lava Lamp Lady?
I don't believe they are, which was the
Nah.
weird thing.
How much for the Lava Lamp Lady?
Yeah.
I'll
They're gonna
take
be on
a
time
I'll
for the
take a gross
holidays.
of those.
Yeah.
Give me a baker's dozen.
Met the lady from Shark Tank because she was there with one of the toys that she invested in.
She was on
She
one.
was. She was
cool.
She was ready.
high energy. Yeah, she was not fucking around.
It wasn't often this time that we got shut down when we would approach. Most everybody was very happy to talk to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why not?
Yeah,
We're
it was
amazing.
nice. Yeah. Saw the Elmo slide the second time on Sunday.
Yep.
They did this weird flash mob to launch this line dancing Elmo doll.
It still lives in my brain every now and
It's
then.
just weirdly awkward and uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just awkward.
Mary described it perfectly because you guys saw it a couple times and you got to see the whole process to where you're hanging out at the booth waiting for something to start, and then you see all of these younger looking people in very primary colors. Like they look very like they could show up on the streets of Sesame Street. And they're all milling about the booth. And at some point, they all leave the booth and go towards the outside of the booth. But also, this is on the schedule. This flash mob is on the schedule.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, you're not surprising anyone. And then Elmo comes out, and they're like, hey, why doesn't everybody join in? And then a bunch of people just rush to the booth and start doing this very complicated choreographed dance.
And they're all like, "Oh my God, you're gonna dance with Elmo? I'm gonna dance with Elmo."
No, I
And then
want to
they do
dance
the
with Elmo.
slide.
And then Bert and Ernie in their business suits are just watching along going, yes, good, very good.
I like when they do the slide.
I had to take a screenshot of this one dude, one of the dancers.
He was Elmo sliding his ass out.
Jose had gotten around behind all the dancers, and this guy turns around at one point, spots Jose, and does, with all due respect, respectfully, the gayest pose I've ever seen in my life. Love the gays, bless your heart, but it was so gay coded.
The Fun in Motion people had their little had their circus on again. We would check that out. They had some kick-ass
cool.
aerialists. Like those aerialists were no joke.
At one point, so I'm shooting up, and the aerialist stops spinning. So I've just got a direct shot of her ass, and I just have to put the camera down. And I just have to check out for a minute because I can't be sitting here zooming in on her cornhole. And they're passing out cotton candy to people in the crowd. And I'm like, haha, cotton candy. I turn around and I see Kelly with a cotton candy in his hand. I'm like, oh my God, you got one? He's like, fuck yeah, I did. I turn around to shoot a little bit more. I turn back. Cotton candy is fucking gone. He housed that thing. He's like, I don't want to carry this stupid sticky thing around with me. I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. No, I ate it as quickly as I could.
But that young lady doing the aerialist work, her butt was so toned because it's unbelievable feats of strength. This shit, just watching them fly around and do these crazy knots with their feet and stuff. Like it's unbelievably strong.
Yeah, real
Wild
Cirque
as
du
hell.
Soleil
Very cool.
shit with the fabric and the spinning and the hanging.
Yeah, it was super fucking cool. It was really cool.
And then as we're
I
leaving
don't know. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but I'm looking at Prime Day deals as we speak. You can get the complete series of Becker on DVD for $28.99 right now.
that sounds like Becker sounds like.
Travis.
Wait, wasn't there a bit where somebody was into Becker? Was it Kerouac?
I
Who
can
was
see
into
that.
Becker?
I don't remember that, but I'm not saying you're wrong.
John
Not by a
Michael, were
long
you
shot.
into Becker? Who was into Becker?
Somebody was into Becker.
Somebody.
Then we did make it a point to go see Toddy Mac.
I think it was Mary. I think Mary was into Becker.
Maybe she was. Go talk to your wife.
Oh man, Drawn Together, the complete collection, $15.99.
Oh my god!
Oh shit!
What an era that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drawn Together. I think you could do Drawn Together now and it would work. Just didn't quite work then. I don't know. But made it over to see McFarlane Toys and talk to Toddy Mac before we even got started with our bullshit. He and I were just talking comics for a little while because that's what the fuck he does. That was kind of cool.
That's so cool.
And then
we were on a clock with him too because he had to leave at 4:30 to get to his flight.
Yeah, and he was
And
fucking around with us until like 4:25.
Did not give a fuck about that clock.
No, he was just having a big time. He had a couple of days just shooting the shit with us for what felt like an hour. And fucking, I managed to get on video. Kelly got his full circle Rhino moment with Todd, and it was wonderful. It was.
I gave
so
Todd
sweet.
a little business card holder. Looks like a rhino. After he told us last year how much he loves, or 3 years ago how much he loves rhinos. And there was just this very nice moment of Todd looking at the rhino and just going, "You're right, I do love rhinos.
I do fucking love rhinos."
Like, it stopped him in his tracks. He's like, "This is so nice."
This is so fucking touching, Kelly.
Yeah, it was so nice. It was such a nice moment.
It was a very nice moment. I'm glad we got to have that.
I don't see a new video from him in his office yet. He said he was going to put the business card holder. It was a Rhino business card holder. He said he was going to put it on his desk in his office, and it was going to be able to be seen in his videos on Instagram. But
yep,
not yet.
Yeah, such
keep
a
an eye out
moment.
for it.
Fucking.
And then
love
Todd
rhinos.
dropped on us the news that Toy Fair was going to New Orleans.
Yeah. We're like, what? He was like, yeah, that's the fucking word. Is no show next year, and then it's going to New Orleans. And we're like, it's fucking news to us.
And then
This is a couple hours before the press release dropped.
yeah. We're sitting in the office. The press release hits, and Mary's like, "Oh, here it goes. No show next year. New York, and then New Orleans for 3 years after that." And we're like, holy shit. Look at all these motherfuckers with this inside info.
Giving it to us of all people.
Suckers.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
There was at one point, I think it might have been Sunday, it might have been Saturday, where we got word that Vanessa Hudgens was
Oh my God. That's
on
right.
location. And we all were super excited because we wanted to talk to her about Mahoney's favorite song, Sneaker Night. But it turns out she wasn't there. But her mom was there and had a booth with a koala, so that was cool. I kept saying maybe Vanessa Hudgens was in the koala suit.
I could see it.
But also, if I'm Vanessa Hudgens' mom, I'm also spreading the rumor that she's there.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Because it worked.
Right.
They got everyone there.
Yeah. Well, got us over there for a minute.
Mhm.
So we're like,
Yeah.
what? No? Bye.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And then came Sunday night.
I forget that this was the halfway point.
I'm sad that Mary isn't here.
Yeah, she was
Talk
a little
about
tired,
this.
but you'll
Wake
have
her
to do
up.
her justice.
Wake her up. Get her in here. So
Oh,
we
my
wanted to
God.
watch.
How did I not put this on my fucking notes?
I
how did I
don't
miss
know
this?
how you didn't put this on your fucking notes.
Like, I
We
figured
wanted
this was
to
going to be
watch-
most of the show.
We wanted to
Oh.
watch the AEW Wrestle Dream.
Wrestle Cream.
Oh, yeah. How did we forget?
Did you
Holy
forget
shit.
about it too?
Holy shit! Yes. Continue. Sorry.
We were like, how are we gonna do this? So where can we go?
Yeah, so originally Mary brought along a Chromecast, thinking that maybe we could cast it to the
Fucking
Hotel
shout out to
TV.
Mary. Johnny on the spot all fucking week, man.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
looking for solutions before we even knew there was a goddamn problem.
Yeah.
Like,
But
not fucking around.
the New Yorker internet sucked so much, so the Chromecast wasn't going to work. And we already we tried watching a little Collision in the hotel room, and it was a little too tiny and a little too loud for her. So we were like, all right, where can we go to watch AEW Wrestle Dream? And we found that the Dave & Buster's in Times Square was supposed to be showing it. I called the next morning to confirm, and then, you know, it was all good, and that was the plan. We got to eat anyhow, so we go to Dave & Buster's, eat, and then we can watch Wrestle Cream, and everybody can kind of filter out as they decide they need to go home and go to sleep. That was the plan.
Perfect plan.
Good plan.
Perfect plan.
What
They
could
talk
go
about
wrong?
it on the television program, AEW Dynamite. They say, hey, you can go to Dave & Buster's and watch this show. I'm like, fuck yeah, all right, cool.
And like, of all the Dave & Buster's you could watch Wrestle Cream, you would think that the Times Square Dave & Buster's would be ready to go. Like that, I feel like that's their flagship. It has to be, right?
You'd think. You would think they would put their top men.
No, well, no, no.
Top guys.
It was okay.
Such a shit
So-
show in every way.
Roll up, and we get seated, and the lady who takes us to our seats, we're like, "Hey, want to put on the AEW pay-per-view?" And she's like, "Yeah, no problem. Well, yeah, okay, we'll get on that."
And she was the second
We must-
person we talked to. I originally
Yes,
talked to the hostess and said, hey, we're here to watch the AEW thing. You know, every step
Yeah,
of the
we had
way.
to wait like 15 minutes to get seated.
Yeah. Every step of the way, we were making sure to communicate why we were there and what we were there for, so that there was no issues, you know?
and so the waitress comes, and she takes our drink orders or whatever, and we're like, "Hey, we're gonna try to get the AEW show on." And she's like, "I don't know what that is, but I will." We'll make sure it happens, no problem. She writes it down. She writes it down, whatever, And so we're in the section. It's important to point out a key part of the story is that we're in an area of the Dave & Buster's completely alone. There's no one around, right?
Secluded,
There's-
you might say.
It's like
There's
a corner.
70. Yeah, there's 70 goddamn TVs in that place. They're all showing the same fucking two things. So that's very important because clearly they cannot all be on the same thing. And so I'm like, can you hooks up? Can we do that one, like that one, and that one? You put these 3 screens to the thing that way everybody sitting at our table can see it.
Mhm.
She's like, okay, sure, no problem. A couple times go by, and then one of the TVs switches, but it's like a C-shaped booth that we're in, and the one TV that they put on it is like the back of the C, not the open part. So like, it's basically everyone's back is to the one screen showing the thing that we wanted to see.
Except for
Except
Jose's
for-
lady.
Yeah, the one
Except for
person
no
who
names.
didn't give a shit had the best seat in the house.
But also, there's like one across from the bar that some of us can see, but it's not a convenient one to watch because there were a couple
Yeah, way
other
to the
marks
left.
over there that were watching the AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it was on at least 2, maybe 3 TVs in the beginning.
Yeah. But again, not all the ones that we asked for.
Right.
Meanwhile, some of the other TVs were playing such hits as NFL Sunday Ticket has signed off for the night. Thank you. Blank screen. And also The Simpsons with no audio.
Which then turned into just the news, right?
Yep.
Again, this is all very important to what comes later. These may sound like small details, but they are not. So the waitress comes by again. We may or may not have our food. We got apps at least by this point. And I'm just like, hey, what's going on with the rest of these TVs? And she's like, I'm gonna ask my manager.
Well,
Okay,
she had already.
this-
She said she had asked the manager like 3 times, and every time
Yeah.
that
It's
comes
like the
over,
third time.
she's more and more embarrassed that she has to look us
She's
in the
doing
eye.
her goddamn best.
And
She
we're
really
getting more
is.
and more embarrassed that we have to ask every time.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, just do the thing you did for this one, for a couple of the other ones, And then at one point, I'm like, okay, what's going on with this? And she's like, it's one like big remote for all the TVs, and it's hard to figure out, but I got my manager on it.
Only the manager knows how to work this gigantic world
Only
remote.
the manager knows how to work this
space
cartoon remote control.
that is directly linked to the satellites.
Okay, cool. That's all right.
And by this point, they've moved those other 2 marks over closer to us, and they're watching the TV that Jose's lady was watching because that's more convenient to them.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Hey, can we get some audio on this, or at the very least, like captions or whatever? Because it's wrestling. You want to hear what's going on and stuff like that." And she was like, "Oh my god, it's also on the giant remote. I'll go ask my manager."
Well, it was multiple servers that were being asked to change TVs, and they all looked
because there was another one around, and she was just like fucking. The other one was just like, I am trying. They don't know what they're doing. I'm sorry.
At some point, she starts coming towards the table, and I kind of look up and make a little bit of eye contact, and she tries to move by us so fast so as not to be asked about the TV situation that she drops a glass and it shatters. And so the glass
and I
explodes.
Uncontrollably said, "Stone Cold!" I could not stop that from coming out of my mouth. I'm really glad that she didn't know what that meant because she didn't know what wrestling was.
We're laughing, and I feel even worse, but it was so funny.
Knives at this point is trying to crawl inside of his own asshole because he's so uncomfortable and embarrassed. And Mary is getting hot.
Yeah, well,
I mean, she is getting so fucking hot at this ineptitude.
Even
And she's
before
getting
that,
fired up, and then I'm just like, you know what? You're fucking right.
Kelly
and I'm
starts
getting fired up.
riling the white women up. Jose's lady
'cause-
turns to me at one point and she says, "Do you want me to talk to the manager for you?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, that's the most emasculating thing anyone's ever asked me."
And I'm just like, yeah, do it.
And then there's some motion, some change happening on a couple of the TVs, right? The one that's just been on the, fucking thanks for watching DirecTV Sunday ticket for like 30 minutes, which is just, it may as well be off. It's nothing, right? Like, you see the menu pop up and some of the numbers are going like, oh, fucking cool. Here we go. All right.
Changing the channel.
Football.
The Jets were on.
The Jets are on. And then the one that was playing The Simpsons. Numbers, you can see the numbers getting keyed in, like for the channel.
Football.
And then the one TV that was playing the fucking AEW switches to the Jets game. And
Football.
I'm like, what the fuck?
And this is, by now, it's 8:30. We're 30 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
And Mary is so mad. And Jose's lady is so mad. And I'm like, I'm a little elevated, so I'm just incredulous.
Yeah.
The whole thing
Lee's
is just
laughing. I'm all fired too.
It's a farce to me at this point. A farce. And
I think when I said that the apology needs to be as loud as this disrespect,
that was my favorite part.
I thought Nice was going to die.
Yeah, because the girls are all hot. Kelly's screaming about being on Team Broad.
I kept saying I'm gonna go shit on the floor.
Yeah. Oh nope. Now, a TV would turn. Oh, I'm definitely shitting on the floor.
Yeah, every time because it kept happening. It was just one by one.
And so the waitress comes by, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on here?" Right? And she's like, "I know. I'm sorry." And then like a few minutes later, a different TV that none of us can see then switches to the pay-per-view. And we're like, what? And she comes back, and I'm like, what? Did the remote fall? Have you checked between the couch cushions? Where is this fucking remote? What's happening here? And that's about the point. But Kelly was like, the apology must be as loud as the disrespect, Nice.
And that's when she came back, and I said, all right, I want you to know we think you've been doing great. You're great. Everything you're doing is perfect.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
I need to talk to
We're
your
gonna
manager.
need to see that manager. Yeah.
And I think I said nothing about what you have done, only what they have done.
Mm-hmm. And if our server was being truthful, and she went and talked to her manager 3 times to try and set this up
And
for
honestly,
us.
it was probably it was more than 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
I
a
don't,
lot. Like,
I don't doubt it for a second.
no, not at all. Not at
Because
all.
why would you just be like, nah, I'm not going to say anything? Because you know they're
Yeah.
going to ask about it.
Right. And, the manager then comes over, and it's the second person that we saw. The lady who seated us
Yes. The
was
second
the
person.
manager. Yes. And she comes over, and she just lies.
Literally
never seen
everything
anything
she
like it.
says to us is a lie.
Every fucking word that comes out of this woman's mouth while we're sitting there is just a bald-faced lie. And I just start laughing at one point, right? Come over, and Mary's like holding her phone up like, hey, look at this. Your website says we can see the AEW pay-per-view here, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And this lady goes, oh, well, I'm sorry. We never got the request for that. And I went, what? Like, what do you mean you didn't get the request for that? She's like, when it's nobody told us. And I'm like, that's not, no, yeah, we told you so many times. And she's like, well, when it's football is on, all the TVs are programmed to automatically go to football. And I'm like, and then Kelly's like, that thing said direct TV for 45 minutes. Like, no, it's not. She's like, oh, it's automatically programmed. And again, remember, we watched the numbers being keyed in on the remotes. There wasn't, so what? It was automatically programmed to join the game 40 minutes in progress.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's programmed to fuck up the keypad, so it doesn't go automatically at the right time. It
Yeah,
just
you would
fucks
think
around
if it
and
was
goes
on
the
a
wrong channel
timer,
first.
they would all change simultaneously, not one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just calling her on her for bullshit. And then she points to the one TV none of us can see, and she's like, "Well, we turned that one on for you." And I'm like, "Well, did you not get the request, or did you turn that one on for us?"
Again,
Like-
we're in a corner with no one else. No one is
Yeah.
watching these 8 TVs that have the Jets game on.
Yeah, pretty much everyone in that corner was watching wrestling because
Yes.
there
They're
was
trying their
that
damnedest
family.
to.
There was those kids that were super
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, when all the channels changed, there were like kids booing. You're not supposed to have kids boo at a Dave and Buster.
Right. It was unbelievable. Like, seriously.
Dave and Buster's is not the place that your staff intentionally breaks their heart.
I've never seen anything like it. She was unapologetically full of shit at every turn. It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was almost inspiring in a weird way.
Yeah. She just outed herself as just being just awful. Just
Yeah.
a terrible person, terrible at her job. It wasn't out of spite or anything. She just fucking sucks. Some people just fucking suck. And to
This
think
lady
that
fucking sucks.
if she's doing it to us, she's got to be doing it to other customers, and that's affecting her employees' tips most likely.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it didn't affect her
100%.
tip from us. Like, we over tipped like ridiculous. But if shit rolls downhill, if you're asking your server for something and it doesn't happen, your server's probably gonna get shit for it. Probably gonna get docked tip.
Yeah,
And-
as we learned at juniors, some people just might not tip.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Because holy shit.
One of my favorite
was-
parts of this whole thing is, I
I know exactly
at,
what you're gonna say.
at this point I have given up control to the white women. I said, go fucking nuclear. I might not be here, but I give you my blessing. And later on it gets quiet and Jose's lady just says, Jose, what do you think about this whole situation? Because he's just been quiet, just keeping a low profile, minding his own business. And she's like, you know what? You're not involved enough in this conversation. It was perfect.
Just busted my balls.
So funny.
It was so fucking funny, you guys. So, we make it back to the hotels. We do not watch Wrestle Dream.
Yeah,
I think I watched it over the course of the next several days on my iPad.
Still haven't seen it.
Which was a phenomenal fucking show, by the way. It would have been so fun to
Great
experience that with you guys.
We
It
did
would've
get
been
to
so
see a
fun to
little bit
experience
of
that together.
Rob Zombie and his butcher.
Oh,
They
right
did.
up. That's true. Yeah.
We did
The
not
worst
see
match of the show.
we did not see
Yeah,
Vanilla Dolph Lundgren.
And what? Yeah, but at one
The
point,
best
me and
match
Kelly
of
are
the
just
show.
watching it through the reflection in the window.
Yeah.
Because that was the best view.
Oh, so fucking crazy.
It
Vanilla
was
Lundgren, baby.
it truly bonded us all, I feel.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
because like we're back at the hotel and we were just texting in the fucking group chat for like hours afterwards. Like, can you believe the balls on this bitch?
Mary just ranting in the hotel.
Oh. It was a real look. We didn't get to watch Wrestle Dream, but we got an amazing story and we got an amazing bonding experience as a unit.
We got dinner and a show.
We definitely got dinner. Not the
But
show
I
we
will
were planning
say,
for.
How much
those
more
chicken
New York
tenders
can you get?
kind of sucked ass.
Yeah. Yeah. By the time our food came, we were already balls deep in this situation. So I just kind of inhaled my food and prayed to leave as soon as possible.
So we get up the next day. We're going to fucking get our Toy Fair on. But I'm like, hey, I text everybody and I say, you know, there's this fucking breakfast downstairs. You guys go ahead, go to the bodega.
Mm-hmm.
I'll meet you down at the Javits in a few minutes. You know, no
Perfectly
problem.
fine.
I'll meet you guys down there.
Yeah.
You know, just like get up a little, get up, go down, make a plate, sit down, fucking cheat up for the day. And again, just regular hotel breakfast bullshit. You know, some fucking eggs and potatoes and bacon and nothing crazy.
Meat, protein, carbs. Delicious.
Yeah. So get up to go head out, and this little tiny short, very meek little Indian man comes up and he gets the he takes my plate. I'm like, thanks. And I start to walk off and he goes, what is your room number? And I'm like, what? He says, what is your room number? And I give him the room number and he looks over his shoulder and checks and he's like, okay, yes. And I go to walk off and he just puts his hands together and tilts his head to the side and goes, you have to pay. And I'm like, what? And he goes, you have to pay. I go, I have to pay for the
You dine breakfast? And you dine so much.
Like, oh, okay. All right. What are we talking about here? And he says, $60. And I said, did you say $60? And he goes, $60. And I said, 60 or 16? Then he says, $16. And I go, uh-huh. Okay. Never in my life have I paid for a hotel breakfast, let alone a 16. I gotta tell you, I'd got more.
Right.
If I knew he was gonna eat me for $16, I got $16 worth out of it. So I give him my card, and I pay real close attention to that goddamn receipt, because if he puts $60 in there, we're going to fight. I'm gonna shove him in one of those fucking roasters. So I'm flabbergasted at this whole exchange, and I walk down. I'm walking down the hall again. It's a 3 doors walk down to the end of the block where the bodega is, and they're still there. They haven't got their sandwiches yet, whatever. I just walk up, and I don't remember who it was that was outside, but I just go, fucking New York. I cannot believe what just happened. And I tell them the story, and they're all dying laughing because if it's one part of the situation, it's one part that had happened to me. It's just a perfect storm of a hilarious fucking thing.
No, it is the delivery of the line that does it for me.
It's so good.
It's everything.
It's exactly how he said it. Very quietly, under his breath. You have to pay.
Yeah, I just say it in my head over and over, and I smile. Like, there was the one time where you were saying it, and you're just kind of, he like shakes his head, and he kind of squints his eyes a little bit, and he just goes, "You have to pay.
You have to pay.
You have to pay." He's smiling. He's happy that you have to pay. This isn't the
Oh
same
yeah,
thing.
no.
I've
He's
almost
just very
said it to
happy
so
that they
many
have to
people
pay.
that don't have any frame of reference for.
You have to pay.
You have to.
Yeah,
pay.
no, he was smiling the whole goddamn time. Just like kind of hands together, head cocked to the side, little, maybe even a nod. I may be making that part up. I think it was a little nod, and he's like, "You have to pay."
You have to pay.
Did you check out? Did you see if they charged you for that first breakfast?
Oh, they definitely did not. No, I just fucking I basically put sausage in my pocket and walked out the door that first day.
Yeah, we walked past that morning, and remember when we did the pretzel stick challenge? That looked like what Lee was doing, but with sausages inside the hotel. Like, I'll be right there, guys. Just got a couple more sausages. And that dude's just watching, like, he have to pay?
You have to pay.
Did he pay?
No one told him he had to pay.
He has to pay.
You had to pay.
He will pay. He will pay.
Oh, unfucking real.
He shall pay.
The next day, as I walked out, I think I actually gave the buffet the finger as they walked out.
Well, you were telling us about the restaurant in your hotel, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh, look, this is pretty cool. $20 breakfast buffet.
But I looked after that whole exchange, right? Like, it does not say anywhere around the buffet area that you have to pay.
Oh,
it doesn't say that at
sucks. That sucks,
It doesn't.
man. Like, at least they didn't charge you for a coffee maker or a fridge.
That's true. But again, I wouldn't care if I knew. But have you ever paid for a hotel breakfast like that? It's so absurd. It's so beyond
in New
fucking
York,
absurd.
baby.
Goddamn New York.
Yeah, and had you have known it was going to be $16 for the powdered eggs and sausages you ate, you would have gone down to the bodega and spent $10 on a delicious sandwich, probably.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Or at least got $16 worth of fucking sausages out of it.
Yeah.
I've been sitting there till lunch. Be like, I'll be there at 1, you guys. I'm making a point. I'll tell you later, but I have to pay.
And so do they.
Yeah.
We shall all pay.
Special. Come pick me up. I just got the meat sweats. Fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then, fucking as for the show, Monday was awesome. We wrapped up nice and early.
What was the day where you didn't set your alarm?
That was Saturday. That was day 1.
Yeah, that was Saturday, yeah. Because I was so tired when I got back to the hotel that I basically just passed out. And I woke up to Nice calling me, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Great. Like, I literally called him. Didn't recognize... Like, when's the last time I called Lee on the phone? He picks up. I don't recognize his voice. I have to confirm it's him. And then when I confirmed that's him, I was like, oh, okay. I understand what's going on right now. This sounds like Lee just woke up to my phone call.
Literally,
it was
that's
me.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't that I slept through the alarm. It just never got set. Mm-hmm. I was so fucking assed out Friday that I just fell asleep without ever changing it. So, like, it was going to go off, like, for work time in an hour.
He's just like, I'll meet you guys down there. I need to shove a bunch of sausages in my face.
It was fine. It was no big deal.
It was no big deal.
Yeah.
As soon as we realized you had slept in, we kept on moving.
Wasn't a big deal. It still felt like you feel like an asshole unless, you're Jose and people are waiting on you. It's not cool,
Waiting on you, Goose.
I was the goose that day.
Mm-hmm.
I was the goose
motherfucker.
But yeah, Monday was awesome. Like I said, it was just super chill. Again, like no one told us no the whole time. It was
just checking things off of our list, taking it sleazy, seeing what you wanted to see, and also getting some stuff done, and not having to edit until 2 a.m. in the hotel room. It was kind of nice.
On Monday, shout out to the people at Super 7 who really wanted to give us everything we could possibly need from them. Like, to the point where the lady came by, she's like, do you want me to open all the cabinets so you don't have glare?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, no, she was great. Like, everyone there was super nice and accommodating for everything. And, like, they're like, do you want to shoot something? And I'm like, fuck, I guess we could.
Just making shit happen.
Yeah.
That was great.
It didn't seem like we had a 3-year layoff. We jumped back into the thick of things.
Yeah, and everyone was super excited, I think. The 3-year layoff might have been part of it, because people were hyped to be there. Even if they were kind of bitching a little bit about the scheduling, everyone was still super hyped to be there. Fucking Toddy Mac was like, we don't. He's like, we don't have these things for like 3 years. You know, we don't go to Comic-Con, we don't go to Toy Fair, and you know, I make more money selling toys than I ever have in a year that I go to Comic-Con and I go to Toy Fair. But we're back here again anyway. I think people just like to do it. He said,
Yeah. He's not wrong.
Yeah, not at all. But yeah, and then you know, we wrapped so early that we're like, we're gonna do some touristy shit because Jose's lady wanted to go to check out Central Park to see the Alice in Wonderland statue, and you know, we've been to New York a whole bunch of times and never done that kind of thing before. So yeah, Kelly broke off to go record a podcast.
Yeah, that's when I recorded my other podcast, Jumping Bomb Audio, which you can go listen to and hear me question Taylor why he lives in New York.
And ask him what the Better Juniors is.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I meet up at the hotel, and we're gonna catch a ride to Central Park.
We're telling this whole part, huh?
It's up to you. We don't have to. We can skip it.
I caused a scene. Me and Mary were supposed to go to Central Park with everybody, and then I caused a scene, and then they went without us. And
meanwhile, when I'm doing the show, I get there's a message in the group of Nyes going, "Sorry, I made a scene," and I'm just like, "A scene?
What did I miss? What did I miss?"
You leave for
it was fine.
One night, Kelly, and I caused a scene.
You got to keep everybody in check, but it worked out okay. But
the city gets to you after a while, man.
It really does.
It starts to grind on you. It was like when the Ghostbusters come up out of the river of slime, and they got all the slime all over them. They're all yelling at each other, and they just got to get naked, and that's what we did.
Yep. Respect, mad respect. So you know, we take this Uber ride down to Central Park, and it's fucking wild. That like I'm amazed, quite honestly. Amazed that like they still let it be there. Because you get so many other buildings and shit there, you know what I mean? But like there's this sprawling.
You know why?
Sprawling green and trees.
You know why?
I'm sure there's some legal reason that they have to.
It's all of the real estate facing the park is super expensive. It's basically beachfront property, but park front.
Yeah, because it's the only place you see green in the entire fucking city. Like, there's no, and like that's not a joke. It's the only place is the fucking parks. Like, there's, you know, it's ridiculous.
It's either Central Park or all the cannabis leaves on the weed store signs.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I mean, it was lovely. You know, the Alice in Wonderland statue is it's dope as fuck. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We walked around, got a little, had some party favors, enjoyed the walk, took some awesome photos of the park as the sun was going down. Stumbled upon the spot in Home Alone 2 where the wet bandits get accosted by a mob of pigeons. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And how did you? Is there like a plaque, or you just recognized it?
No,
you can just recognize it.
Yeah, just walking around and was like, oh, holy shit! Is that the thing from that movie? And was like, oh, holy shit! Look at that thing from that movie.
Yeah, we're walking after that, and we're walking along and. Jose and I at the exact same time, we're like, oh,
we're like, oh shit, is that it? Is that, oh shit, that is. We both look at each other, it was like, oh shit. It was the part from John Wick 2 at the end when he gets excommunicated and he meets Winston, and Winston gives him the head start. And I'm pretty sure that's where they killed
Palicki,
right?
Excommunicado. That's Latin.
Surround her and like pop because she tried to do the hit on him in the hotel.
Mm-hmm. Jose and I watched the first episode of The Continental today.
How was that? Is it good?
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Despite Jew hater Mel Gibson.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. Like it was like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Every cut had a fucking song, legit song.
There was
the soundtrack was pretty fucking cool.
Like 20 70s pop songs in this one episode.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much three 1.5 hour long movies. That's the season of the Continental.
Juggalo John in the chat says that the location from John Wick was also in the Iron Fist show as well.
I believe it.
We did not recognize it from that.
No, we did not.
We definitely did not recognize it from that. So that was cool, and then we all met up for dinner at Junior's. Kelly brought his boy Taylor. He seemed like a very lovely young man.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Mahoney, he doesn't suck.
Somewhere Mahoney is screaming.
It's true.
And he doesn't know why.
True.
That sandwich
great.
was so good, but I regretted it
sandwich was so
all
good.
day Tuesday. It fucked me up. It was too much sandwich.
Yeah, and since I'm the only one that had a fridge in the room, I'm like, I'll just take half my sandwich back to the room. I'll eat it tomorrow.
Motherfucker.
Because it was a lot. At first, I'm like, fucking $20 for this sandwich? And then it comes and you're like, oh, it's just 2 sandwiches. It is basically 2 sandwiches worth of sandwich. Got it. Okay, cool.
After we found out that we were just getting 1 bed instead of 2 beds in our hotel room, I messaged all you guys to let you know about it. And I asked Jose, I was like, did you guys get 1 bed or 2 beds? And then nothing. So in my head, I'm just thinking, these motherfuckers got 2 beds and they don't want to tell me. Lee's just hiding his cool-ass hotel room from us this entire time.
I may have already been passed out.
Probably.
I think that's why I didn't. So I didn't see any of those till later.
And then you were like, I'm still not going to answer.
This is my last real,
Nice. Hang
my
on.
last
Time
real
out.
New York
Time out
story.
for another Prime Day deal update.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Do you have the Pennywise reaction figure?
I do not.
Well, you're gonna.
The reaction
Carry
figures
on.
got to be real. They got to really hit for me. Like I think the only reaction figure I have is My Pet Monster, and that's because, that's the only way you can really get My Pet Monster.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have Pennywise soon.
Okay, thank you.
It's coming to your house.
Nice.
Pennywise is coming to town.
And then it's like, not able to deliver to this address.
What was the deal with that? That was so weird.
I don't know who
was
mentioned
very
it, but I think it was definitely it's only going to ship in state, or it was just
Yeah.
out of stock, and that was, because Prime Day shit goes fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was ready to send you a goddamn portable monitor, Kelly. we were gonna settle up somehow.
Yeah.
Wasn't meant.
Because, that was so weird. So someone is able to get that monitor somewhere. Who?
I got it.
Who's to say?
Yeah. I ordered it right away.
Oh, wait, you got one?
Yeah. And that's when I'm like, you guys, you got to get these fucking things. And you were like, we're all trying. I'm like, oh, sorry. But my last little bit of New York was on the way out of the Junior's restaurant. We're heading out, and then this guy, one of the Junior's employees, comes, tearing ass out of the restaurant. He's like, ma'am. And you're like, okay. Typically, when that kind of thing happens, it's because, you've left your something or whatever inside. Here's your thing or whatever. But he walks up to this woman and her other women friends. There's 3 ladies, and they're in the crosswalk. So, he's on the sidewalk. They're crossing the street, and he's like, whoa.
They're making a getaway.
Yeah. And they come back, and he looks at them, and he's like, he's got, the little tablet that they take all the orders and stuff on. He's like, hey, when you paid, you had the opportunity to leave a tip, and you didn't leave a tip on here. And the 3 ladies just kind of look at each other and kind of look side by side. They kind of shift their eyes back and forth, kind of look at the ground, and he's like, "Do you want to add a tip to this? You want to add a tip?" And they just kind of look at each other, kind of shuffle back, and kind of don't make eye contact with him. And he goes, "Oh, so you're not gonna leave a tip at all? No tip."
Well, and he did ask, was there anything wrong with the service? And they're like,
Yeah.
"No."
He's like, was the service not good? Was your food not good? Is there something wrong that we can change? And they just kind of shift around, it's very awkward. And he's like, "Oh, so you're just not gonna leave a tip at all? No tip?" And they kind of just shoot the kind of little head shake, whatever. And he goes, "Well then, fuck you," and turns around and walks back into the Juniors.
Were they like British? Because British people are notorious for not tipping because that's just not their culture.
I think so.
So they
they weren't British. They were.
Couldn't quite place it. There was some ethnicity happening. I don't know what it was exactly, but they weren't just weren't regular old honkies. That's for sure.
I felt bad. I tipped less than I hoped to because that second day, the goddamn credit card machine at the TikTok diner wasn't working. Wiped me out of all of my cash for the week. Motherfuckers.
But it was fucking something else, man. What a ride it was. What a fucking ride.
Coming home that night, did we not pass the ambulance loading the guy into the ambulance right before we got to the hotel?
That was, I think, that night, yeah.
Oh my God.
Never a dull
The guy
moment.
with his, like, arm stuck in the air.
Yeah. And was it that night that they just basically tore up the road in front of our hotel?
Yes.
Everything was so fucked.
And then put it right back together.
Like it was never there.
By the morning.
Yeah, you never would have known.
You wild, New York.
Absolutely wild.
So we said goodbye to Jose's lady. She left the next day, and then we had our last day at Toy Fair, and it was pretty much cake. You know, there were a couple little speed bumps, but yeah, it was all
real
good.
Speedy bump.
And
real speedy bump.
You know, the show closes at 4 on Tuesday, which is the last day. So technically, the show closes at 2 because everyone's already packing their shit up by then. When in reality, if you don't get what you need to get before noon, it's not happening. So anything after that is just gravy. So there, at a certain point after lunch, I was like, all right, you guys are wrapped. Fucking run free, my angels.
And we did. A lot of giggling.
Just giggling, running around, just looking for loot. Just whatever we could get our grubby little hands on
before them damn Toy Foundation people get their hand on it.
Yeah. There was one booth that just kept putting shit out. And they first got my attention because I just glanced at the booth and there was a lady holding a bunch of packs of Pokemon cards and she just goes, "Come on, you know you want them." I was like,
and Kelly was like, matter of fact, I do, yes.
I would like those.
Ma'am, are you seducing me?
Is this what passes for flirting in New York? Because it's working.
Yeah. I was just excited to get some Pokemon cards.
Yeah. So I got a bunch of shit to bring home to the kids. They had a blast with it. So that was a big success.
The sight of walking into Lee's amazing, beautiful hotel room that didn't smell and just seeing the pile of blind box packages on the floor overflowing from the trash can. Like, this guy knows how to
garbage.
live.
But you know what? The kids had a fucking blast with it.
Yeah.
So I regret nothing.
No, you shouldn't regret anything.
If anything, it just shows how wasteful those fucking packages are. Because there was so much nonsense.
We didn't talk about your weird ass shower with the hole cut in the glass so that you could reach the shit
that was
on
strange.
the bathroom shelf. Somebody thought they had a really good idea, but they didn't think it through.
Yeah, all it does is get shit on
I
the
thought
shelf
later
wet.
that it might be good for taking selfies while you're putting them on the glass.
I can see that.
God,
why not?
damn.
I'm willing to believe that's why, Kelly.
Yeah.
You fucking ended up in an OnlyFans hotel by accident.
Yep.
Fucking wild. But yeah, but that's about it. We met up and hung out in the room that night. So after Mary went to bed, basically did a podcast, and that's when everybody was like, "Your fucking room is so much nicer than ours," because like there was no carpet, so it didn't have that like dank carpet smell. It was all like hard floors.
It was all like brand new looking.
Yeah, it
and the New Yorker is just run down. Oh my god!
Yeah,
that
it definitely
video
didn't
you
seem
guys
100
recorded
years old.
Of the back rooms in the New Yorker with Kelly running around like
oh
fucking
my
Sabretooth.
god! Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't. I would never have thought Kelly was that limber.
Well, we're
No disrespect.
We're going around the hallway to the elevator, and Lee's like, "Oh my god, look at all these lefts and these rights," and he goes back to record from the room to the elevator. And Kelly hands me his jack and goes, "Hold this. If he's still recording when he comes around the corner, I'm gonna run at him with all fours." I was like, "You do you, boo. Go get him." And sure as shit, he's peeking. So I stay because I don't want to like accidentally get seen and blow it up. And fucking sure as shit, I see him go on all fours and take off down the hallway.
And I see him coming with something out of a horror movie and just ended so fast. I was like, all right, we're going to be scaring the camera and run away. And so I got this pretty rad video, that does exactly what you wanted to do.
New Cursed Kelly drop.
Yeah. And I send it to Zoe because I'm like, oh, she'll think this is funny. And I'm like, oh, check out this backrooms ass hallways in this hotel. And then there's a 15-second video because it's not a lot because before I could really do all the trips and turns and shit like that, Kelly did his fucking spooky walk. So, ended up being a very short video. And so I send it and she's like, oh man, I wouldn't like that very much. And I said, did you watch the whole thing? And then she replies back, oh my God, what the hell is that? I go, that's Kelly. And when did I lose you in the prior 13 seconds, you fucking child? Like, what are you doing?
Attention spans are toast.
They got none. 0% attention spans, these fucking youths. But it was a fucking rad-ass video.
We did make one more trip down to see some sights after the show. We headed over to 30 Rock and hit the Nintendo store.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't see the first person who created COVID there this time.
No.
They get some fucking sweet-ass puzzles, though.
Mm-hmm.
They got some puzzles. Kelly got so many rad shirts.
Oh,
Larry did the Rainbow Road one.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
I saw those Pikachu shirts, and I sent a picture to Kelly, and he materialized right beside me.
I saw him, I'm like, I fucking gotta go.
You summoned me.
Exactly. You rang.
Everybody got some fun things at Nintendo. Then we walked back over to Times Square and hit the Tamashii Nation store again. And Jose was moments away from buying the $130 Bishoju Mandalorian for the lady. And I was like, maybe you should double check with her first.
And she was like, it's cool.
Oh, no. It was the Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Not Mando.
Yes.
But she thought because the pictures were in a case, she thought I was sending it to her from the show. And she was like, yeah, just grab all of them. I'm like, I don't think you understand what I'm saying right here.
Those things are so cool, though.
Yeah, they were like the ones that are like the samurai style.
Yeah, I was saying to Jose, I think the first time we saw those, the Vader and the Stormtroopers was Toy Fair, right?
Yeah. Way back in the day.
And from there, we ended up with at that little Italy place and had,
oh God,
I mean,
yes,
legit fucking slices, y'all. They were really goddamn.
Yeah,
good.
So good.
Us and the ladies got some Two Bros the first night we were in, but we never, as a group, really went and got pizza. So we're gonna hit Two Bros again. But then I see this little Italy place that had an inside and seats. And I suggested that, and the whole group was like, fuck yeah, let's go.
And we're all kind of like, well, if it's not that good, you know what? We got to sit.
Right, exactly.
And then it fucking ruled.
It banged.
Mm-hmm. And we got to sit.
Yeah.
So we're looking at this pizza. And, it's a regular pizza place. Nothing really special on the inside. But then you look at the crust, and it almost looks like it's got the little bread blisters on it that make it a little crunchy, but then you look closer, and no, it's not little air pockets. It's like they dipped their dough in breadcrumbs before they cooked it, so there was an extra, crunch factor to the crust. It was bizarre. I have Googled
and
Little Italy pizza to see if there's a fucking secret to their crust.
It was tremendous. It's like, like top 5 slight. It's great. Like, it was legitimately very good. And, and again, it was like right off of Times Square, so you think that'd be like the more touristy bullshit.
Right.
It was fucking legit. It was very good.
A fucking New York pizza place is gonna bang when they don't give a fuck. They're playing whatever ethnic music that they like, and they're just jamming out to it, making pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely wasn't.
That's how that works.
It definitely wasn't fucking music from Kelly's home country.
No.
It definitely wasn't music from
Definitely
Italy.
not.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
The
It was
tune that they were playing, it kind of went like, it was like,
Oh God. It was a fucking, aside from the monsoon we came into, it was a wonderful experience.
Well, and New York just being super New York, mutant New York.
Yes. But like, hanging out with you guys was great.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, of
But
course.
it was nth level New York. It was fucking ridiculous.
And on that note,
we were so happy when they're like, New Orleans, and we're like, yes!
Yeah. We had it at that point. So Wednesday morning, me and Mary have an early flight. Me and Kelly and Jose are going to all ride to the airport together. Across the street from the New Yorker is a McDonald's, and Mary and I love to do McDonald's breakfast. We usually do it on Fridays. It helps us to look forward to something and helps us mark the weeks, And because this was like the last day of our trip.
Because what is time?
Yeah, let's have some fucking McDonald's. Let's treat ourselves so that we don't have to pay ridiculous prices at the airport for some food. So I cross the street over towards the CVS, and then I go to cross 8th. And I'm walking down the sidewalk on 8th towards the McDonald's. And there's this guy kind of chilling up against a wall with one leg crooked, and he's got crutches. So he's got the one leg up and crutches. As I'm starting to walk past him, he starts hobbling into the street. Like real... He's got a destination he needs to go, and he starts hobbling. But I see this, and I'm immediately suspicious. He's in the middle of the street, and he starts yelling, Tanya! Tanya! Tanya, please! Tanya, I'm sorry! And so, everyone in earshot is, like, looking around, like, what's happening? And this guy's on crutches in the middle of the road, just yelling, Tanya! And I see this chick with black hair and a little leather jacket. It looked like she was crossing in front of the New Yorker, and she's kind of rubbernecking towards him, and he starts yelling, Tanya, I'm sorry! And she starts picking up her pace, looking back, and scurries around the corner as quick as she can. And that was the last I saw of it, because I went into the McDonald's, and that's where the story ended. But,
oh my God.
I tell the story to Mary, and she's like, oh, that seems like that was a diversion. Somebody was getting pickpocketed at that point. There was no Tanya. Or maybe that was really Tanya, and dude was just waiting for her to get off of her train. He knew she was going to pass in front of the New Yorker, so he posted up across the street on his fucking crutches. He really
And that's when Nyes reached in his pocket and his wallet was gone. And then he turns and goes, Tanya!
I was like, New York, man, I'm going to miss you. Gonna miss you. It's wild.
But not really. That's fucking crazy.
And that's above the street. Imagine what's going on underneath.
Yeah.
The madness below.
No thanks.
You see, and that's why you pay $70 for a ride to the airport.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. But it is absolutely
the right choice.
The lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
It is 100% the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, we were trying to book an Uber for Central Park, and at one point the prices come up and it's like, oh, okay, so this is going to be $60 to Central Park, and also we'll be there in 20 minutes. Like, fucking what?
Yeah, but also the cab will be here to get you in 20.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It'll be here to get us in 20, and it'll take us 20 to get there, and the sun is just dropping like a rock at that point. And I said, you know what? This calls for a scene.
My man said the stakes aren't quite high enough.
Yeah. You guys. So I did the scene. I did my scene out on the sidewalk, and then I did an extra scene for everybody inside by the elevators.
Excuse me a second. I'd like to go cause a scene.
I think you were just getting in touch with your inner New Yorker. That's all.
Yeah. The cool thing about causing a scene in front of the elevators is then you get to ride that elevator with those people.
So cool.
It's all good though.
And the guy in the elevator's like, been there with Tanya.
Tanya. It was just the Tanya thing was one of those moments where it was like I hoped one of you were there with me, but you weren't. But I knew you would all believe me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It was like he got cued off screen by a director, and had I walked past the McDonald's, there was probably going to be two guys carrying a piece of plate glass.
Yeah.
A fucking fruit cart. All kinds of weird shit. Tito,
That's wild.
when are you moving? And
Yeah.
where are you going?
What the fuck? You're better than this place. You're absolutely better than this place. And Tito's all like, no, see, you just gotta go to Brooklyn. That's the problem. You're not in Brooklyn. You know what? I fucking seen. No, it sucks there too. You gotta get the fuck out of there, man.
I've seen the buses.
Yeah, they're just full of water.
Yeah, the land of
boat.
floods.
Often,
New York.
Often in Florida with our hurricanes, we see the news footage of people walking around outside in floodwaters with no shoes on. And that's Florida. Florida people are gonna Florida. But to see that on the news in New York freaks me the fuck out.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's very, very crazy.
Like, not even just stepping on something, but whatever is in that soup is now getting into your
just the water
toenails,
alone.
getting into whatever open sores you've got on your legs.
It's getting into you.
Yeah.
It's in you ever now.
You're going to get polio.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So, millions of people. Millions of no.
We might not ever have that private office with a private bathroom again. And we'll miss it.
No, one more time.
Well, one more time, yeah. But I'm talking once it moves to New Orleans. It's probably not going to be the same setup, but I tell you what, it'll be worth it. But then again, New Orleans,
you never know.
New Orleans is the New York of the South, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, it's... It feels like a real place. Like, New Orleans is at least a real place. You know what I mean? Like, it's got its stuff, for sure. Because, like, it's still got touristy bullshit or whatever, but at least it feels like a place where people really live. Whereas... Yeah, I can't really describe. I don't know what New York is, but it's not that. It's not a real place.
At one point on the elevator, somebody made a joke about, the elevators are small. They're just a little bit bigger than the rooms, huh? And everybody chuckles.
Huh.
And then one lady says, I actually did stay in a place that was smaller than this elevator. And I think to myself, bitch, no, you haven't. That's a closet. Like, you're saying you stayed in a closet. Like, did you rent out the stairs
solitary confinement
where fucking Harry Potter lived in his uncle and aunt's house? I get that space is limited in New York, but no, you did not stay in some place that was smaller than a New Yorker elevator. Sorry.
Ma'am, you're speaking in hyperbole, and I don't appreciate it.
Ma'am, I don't know if you know this or not, but I've been known to cause a scene, so I think you need to back up here.
Yeah.
Better shape up and fly right. What are you, a fucking Dave and Buster's manager? Fucking wild.
Somebody
What a
said,
week,
I think Jose's lady said, Jason, you're great about doing online reviews. You should get on the Dave and Buster's and write them a new one. I was like, it's well past that now. I don't think anything is changing anybody's minds. We'll get a placating, oh, I'm sorry for your experience email, and that'll be about it. Because they know fucking Ginny at the Times Square Dave and Buster's is a piece of shit, but she's the only one that can run that place.
Yeah.
I don't know that her name's actually Ginny. I just pulled that out of my head.
It checks out.
We could probably figure it out. Yeah, I was thinking about coming in tonight. I wanted to make sure that tubby Filipino-looking manager is going to be there. They're like, oh, you got to be
Jenny!
You got to be more specific. She could be Filipino. She could be Mexican. I don't know, but she is roundabouts there.
What an experience.
If you're not sure which one is her, figure out which one is the worst at her job. That's her.
Yep.
New York, New York.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Jesus Christ.
Then one of those rickshaws was playing that song, and it all came full circle.
Yeah,
so
really
many
did.
of them are playing that song. Just bump, bump, bump. What a time. And so,
I don't think Jay-Z
fucking...
and Alicia Keys have been back to the city recently.
No,
I don't think so. No.
No, I think they would rescind that song. Concrete jungle where you see dead guys. There's junkies shooting up.
Unreal. So yeah, that was fucking Toy Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Missed you, Tito.
Yeah, we did miss Tito.
What a time to be alive.
I joked that it took 2 women to replace Tito, but also those 2 women did a great job. Everybody did a great job. It was Kelly said it was one of the smoothest running Toy Fairs we've ever done, and that's good.
We've never operated that efficiently.
No, it was great.
No unwasted movement.
All the stuff with us was awesome. Get your shit together, New York.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
You're fucking gonna come up to my level, New York. What are you doing?
You don't shape up and ship
So
right.
that's the
We're going to
fucking
pick up
show.
Times Square and move it to New Orleans, see?
Man, see, it's that around all
Goddamn
day,
right.
all night. You can't stop us. Come on.
I can't wait until we're at Toy Fair in New Orleans. We're going to have all the Popeyes we could eat.
Hell yeah.
We need to
Good.
Local
go.
cuisine.
Every night.
We need to go see our boy, the Catcher's Mitt, and get ourselves some muffaletta sandwiches.
Oh, please don't.
Frank.
All right. And so yeah, that's it, man. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully Mahoney will be here and he can be like, what happened at the Toy Fair? And we'll do this shit all over again next week. You can hear it twice.
Jose, are you going to be gone next week?
When
do you get back?
I get back that day. I don't know what time, so 50-50.
We'll count you out for now.
Yeah.
It is spooky season. We
Might
should
do a
plan some
movie
movies
next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A spooky movie. See, man.
I do want to watch Demolition Man, but that's not really a spooky movie, so we'll save that for another time. But man, a Demolition Man night would be great, and Jose needs to be there for that.
Yeah. Don't do Demolition.
Oh, for sure.
We watch too much cool shit without Jose.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta save it.
Concrete movies were made of with lots
Nailed
of
it.
pigeons.
And that little
We'll be
rat,
back.
he's taking a nap in the corner.
He may be
Oh, I
dead.
will say that, yeah,
don't know.
When we were in Central Park, we got real lost for a second. And so it was like me
Oh, the lights
and Jose.
were there no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest fear.
Yeah. So, and then me and Jose and the lady were all like just staring at our phone, trying to get in the map. Like, where the fuck are we trying to go? And then we're walking, and this big fucking rat runs out. And the lady is like, oh, Jesus Christ. But then it appeared as if he was leading us out.
He's like, come on, guys. This way, guys. Come on.
It said, woof, woof.
He let us back. He led us back to the street. It was delightful.
We made it.
Back next week.
We made it.
At 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central at youtube.com/panelsonpages for Jason Nyes, Jose Guzman, Kelly Harris, and all of fucking New York. I am the Lord Reverend Lee Rodriguez. We'll talk to you guys next week. Night. Love you. Bye-bye.
Oh, come on, Popcast outro.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You fucking Google ass bitch.
Fucking Google something.
Holy shit. You fucking Google ass bitch.
I didn't want to say it.
What are you, some kind of bitch?
Whoa.
You fucking
Google ass bitch. Why you keep bugging us, YouTube?
You fucking Google ass bitch. That's it. Show's over. We're done.
See you next Tuesday.